Kids Helpline, it provides a vital service for youth mental health for all Australians, but this is especially so for rural and regional areas like my electorate of Casey, where a town like Warburton, it's a good 40-minute drive and even longer on public transport for young people to a specialised service. Kids Helpline, it's the only free, professional and confidential 24/7 online and phone counselling service that is specialised in providing support to all young people aged between 5 and 25. And we saw during COVID and the lockdowns how much this service was needed and how vital it was in helping young people all across the country. Because it's a trusted provider of services for young people with a focus on mental health and well-being, also supports those that are long-term unemployed, the prevention of youth suicide, child protection, and as well as support for those experiencing family and domestic violence. Kids Helpline is the critical safety net for children and young people, providing mental health support, and it's often the only mental health service available after hours, or as I said, for those living in rural and remote areas. Kids Helpline has professional free counselling support and it ensures equality for all children and young people, regardless of their location or circumstance. And I had the opportunity just last week to speak to Catherine and Marion from Kids Helpline, and they outlined some of the stories and some of the people that have been impacted, and that's what's so important about this service. It is available to those that need it, no questions asked. It's a safe place for young people to continue their work, and they've got really big plans for the future of Kids Helpline, but they also need support from us. And I know it's bipartisan support, this motion, and it's great to see. They were talking about how the phone centre in Brisbane was impacted by the floods last year, and that's had a significant impact on their operation. They've got some exciting plans around investing in digital technology to improve their service, allow their service to scale to another level, and I urge that we look to support them in every way we can in this House, because last financial year, 2021 to 2022, the Kids Helpline was contacted over 443,000 times. 156,000 of these was responded to, so there is more demand than they are able to look after at this time. And they enacted 5,753 emergency responses. And to understand that's emergency responses, particularly looking at young people experiencing a crisis such as suicide attempt, child abuse or sexual assault, that's when they're literally staying on the line while they call emergency services. And 5,753 times the counsellors have been able to support those in direct crisis. And the unknown question for us all and why we need to continue to support them is there was almost 300,000 calls that weren't answered, and it's tragic to think that within that 300,000 there would have been many more that needed that emergency response. And that's why I'll always continue to advocate in this House for support for youth mental health and particularly Kids Helpline and the amazing work they do. And in my electorate of Casey, we recently had a very successful youth mental health service. The Lilydale Youth Hub closed its doors in December last year, and it was a severe blow to our local community. And I'd just like to take a moment to mention some of the key groups that are involved in establishing the Youth Hub: Sue Session at Inspiro, as well as Anchor, Series Services, Una Health and Community Aboriginal Corporation, the Eastern Community Legal Centre and the Yarra Ranges Council, who did amazing work establishing the Youth Hub. And I know they're continuing to work to see what options there are for the Hub, and I'll support them in any way I can, because they collectively advocate for the health and wellbeing needs of young people in the Yarra Ranges and Casey. And our community knows the complex needs of young people and their families in this region, and it can't be met by Headspace alone, which again is already oversubscribed, and that's why our advocacy in this place is so important. We also know that our young people need to have somewhere safe and welcoming to spend their time so their needs don't escalate into costly therapeutic interventions. It's times like these that Kids Helpline can assist, and we are thankful for their invaluable service and commitment to youth mental health. So I said I'll continue to advocate for services like the Lilydale Youth Hub and the Kids Helpline, who help our community and their families. And for those kids, let you know that it's available 24/7 by calling 1800 55 1800 or online through kidshelpline.com.au.